Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't you tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today is about the Real Housewives of Potomac season premiere, uh, season 7, episode 1, which says Spring Awakening. It started off with Karen and Gizelle walking to the park area, and they were going to have a picnic in the park. And then Gizelle asked Karen, is Ashely coming? And she said, yeah, Ashely coming. Ashely said she was coming. And then the next thing you know, Robin showed up, and Robin showed up, and she asked the girls how they were doing, and Karen said that she wanted to come outside and be outside since spring is happening and spring is springing, and she wanted to do something for spring and the springtime. And then that's when Robin asked, did anybody, that's when Gizelle asked Robin, did she hear anything from Ashely? She said, not of late. She said, well, Ashely's supposed to be coming here. That's what Karen said. She said, yeah, okay. And she said, what do you think about what Ashely told us? And then that's when Robin said that Ashely had called her about a week before, telling her that her and Wichita was divorcing. And Gizelle said the same thing, and also Karen. And so they were saying, well, yeah, we was kind of surprised that she told us that and stuff. And then this thing, Ashely walked up, and she said, oh, hey there, how you doing? How everybody's doing? And she said, well, yeah. And then Karen said, well, how are you doing? She said, I'm doing all right. She said, yeah, we see that you're doing all right. Gizelle said, we see that you're doing all right with all your TikToks and stuff. She said, you really out there looking good. And she said, yeah, a divorce suits you well. That's what Gizelle was telling Ashely. And then Ashely said, well, yeah, we are getting divorced. We're in the process of getting a divorce. But I've been looking for houses and stuff, and Michael has really been helping me looking for a house, and we're supposed to buy a house together under an LLC. Then Karen, and then Gizelle say, what? She said, Ashely, when you are divorcing somebody, you don't jump up and buy a house with them, especially a house in an LLC. And then she said, well, she said, no, Ashely, you told me and Karen and Robin that you were divorcing Michael. She said, no, I didn't say that. Then that showed the flashback of what she was telling the girls last year that her and Michael was divorcing. And she said, no, I said separated. And then Gizelle said, Karen, did I hear wrong? And then what you call? And then Karen said, well, I thought I heard divorce. I thought I heard you say the word divorce too. She said, did I say the word? She said, well, I meant to say separated. In the state of I think she said in the state of, Washington or in the city of, I gotta go. I think she said in the state of Washington or in the city of Potomac or something. I gotta remember that. That she said that you gotta be separated first before you can get a divorce. And she said, yeah, well, we separated now, but you gotta be separated first before. She separated first before you get a divorce. But you said divorce. She said, no. And then Gizelle said, well, I don't know nobody that is getting a divorce, separated from somebody that's gonna buy a house with them. But I really wanted a house for me and the kids. I really want a house for me and the kids and stuff. And then Karen jumped up and said, y'all really getting a divorce or what? And then so Robin chimed in and said, well, that seems strange to me too. She said, well, I want a house. And Michael said we can both get the house in the LLC. And she said, and then Gizelle said, Gizelle say, Ashely, do you really want to do that? She said, Ashely, like I said, I don't know nobody who does that. That's kind of strange with me. And then Karen reiterated, don't look like they getting a divorce. I don't think they're getting a divorce. Ashely said, yeah, this is hard on me. And stuff like that. And she said in that confession, I gotta get used to doing stuff because Michael paid for everything. I never did for nothing. I said, I was saying to myself, that's the problem, Ashely. You so used to Michael paying for everything, and Michael trying to make sure that you ain't taking all his money from him and stuff like that. Now in the later confessional, she did say that she didn't want to push the button because she didn't want Michael to try to take what little that she's supposed to be getting. It was nice to see all of them getting along and together at the park and stuff. But I know Gizelle and Karen is not that friendship is not gonna be cohesive for very long. And then it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was Robin having lunch with Clarice, and her and Clarice was talking about hold on, let me pause this while I get some water. I'm back. Like I said, Robin meets up with Clarice and they have lunch. And then Robin asks Clarice how she doing. Clarice said she's doing all right. And Clarice said, "What about your dating life?" She said, "Well, I dated a couple of men. One was a ex-basketball coach, and the other two was something else." She said, "My dating life is not that important. We didn't get along that much." And stuff like that. And then she asked, Clarice asked Robin, what about her and Juan? Or her and Juan getting married? Have they set a wedding date yet? And Robin told her, no, we haven't set a wedding date yet. We're just taking our time. And then when she got on the confessional, the producer asked her, "Do you really want to get married? You know, we've been going through this for a while. Do you really want to get married?" She said, "Well, yeah, we want to get married. But me and him taking our time right now. That's not that important to us right now." And then it switched back to the scene, and then and then and then she said, "Well, y'all ain't set a wedding date yet." She said, "Nah, y'all ain't." And so Clarice said, "I want to ask." Robin said, "I want to ask you a question, Clarice." She said, "What?" She said, "I'm thinking about asking Juan to sign a prenup." She said, "Oh, I thought you already had a prenup or a postnup." She said, "Nah, I'm thinking about having." She said, "I feel like this, Clarice. I feel like I make a little bit more money than Juan now. I got my own business and other stuff, and I don't think you should be getting half of my money, 50% of my money that I made on my own. Now, if he made it with me," and then Clarice jumped up and said, "You don't think I should have got 50% in my divorce?" She said, "All the stuff that I did, I was a wife, I was a mother, I was this, that." She said, "Well, I'm just saying, this is the money, I made after me and Warren got married. I made this on my own. I didn't make this with him." And so Clarice said, "Well, you need." Clarice said, "Well, you need to talk to the lawyer. You need to tell the lawyer." She said, "What do you think Juan gonna think about that?" She said, "I haven't told Juan yet. I haven't told Juan yet." She said, "Have you talked to a lawyer?" "I haven't even talked to a lawyer yet." And Clarice said, "You need to talk to a lawyer." And Clarice said, "Girl, I spent over $5,000 on lawyers trying to get my money. I finally got my 50%, and I was it because I did bring something to the marriage." Robin, you don't want to split your money with Juan. What you think Juan didn't want to do when he was up and high in the basketball and stuff, and you was supposed to be a housewife working like Clarice said, and you was just spending that man's money doing unwise investments and lost all that man money and stuff like that. I don't know if you paid that man back, but half of that money should be that man's. Just half of that money should be Juan's money just on that alone. Just that you lost his money, and maybe you recovered some of it, but you probably didn't recover all of it." And then it switched to the next scene where they showed Candace and Chris going to the doctor's office for Candace to get her IVF shots so she can have a baby later on in life. So they went there to freeze her eggs, and Chris asked how was the procedure going to be done, and the lady told her that they were gonna shoot Candace with a needle in her abdomen. He said, "Oh, it's like that, it's like that." She said, "Yeah," and for her to freeze her eggs for later. And then in the confessional, producers asked Candace, "Why do you decide to freeze your eggs now?" She said, "Well, it's gonna be now or never, because in case I want to have a baby later." And so she was saying with Chris's schedule, he not gonna be able to come and be at every visit. Me, she said, oh, and the doctor said, oh, doctor was looking kind of funny. She said, oh, some of the stuff, he really don't need to be into. And so to me, I think that was not right. She should have waited till they got to the car. And then when they got ready to walk to the car, she was saying, your schedule, you're gonna have to change your schedule, so you can come to some of these appointments with me and stuff like that. And then she got to showing, well, with both our schedules, I'm so busy, got to showing it, they got to doing the flashback when she was on the tour with SWV and Faith Evans. Then like she said, she was remixing her Deep Space album, and then she talking about she on tour and she busy too. And he was saying, Candace, with both our jobs and the job that I got, I'm scheduled off 2 days a week. Them the only days that I can be. She said, but you need to. He said, nah, I can't be more scheduled like that. He said, Candace, if they have a 500 event, I got to be there to set the video. I'm the general manager of the rooftop. He said, no, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. When you work in food service, even though they give you days off, sometimes they call you on your off days if the events are big enough. So Candace, you need to be glad that Chris is a man that's willing to work and wants to pull his part and pull his weight. And you ain't never worked in a restaurant business before. All you do is eat at the restaurant. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And when they have big events, it's very chaotic. Because I know I used to work in that industry. Anyway, he said, you're not listening to me, Candace. She said, I am listening, but if you keep on hollering at me and cussing at me like that, I ain't gonna listen. And he said, well, I'm keep trying to tell you the work I'm in, I can't set no set schedule. And then it switched to the next scene. And the next scene was I think the next scene was Mia having a family over, I think it was for lunch. And then G asked her who was coming. She said, well, my mom, my mom coming. He said, yeah, nobody. She said, my sister and her husband coming. And then my cousin coming. He said, oh, they all coming. And she said, yeah, we got enough food, everything. He said, yeah, we got everything. We got everything. She said, yeah, I'm going to leave it up to you, G. And so G went on. Next thing you know, her mama came in and her mom asked her, she said, Candace, are you all right? Everything okay? What's going on? She said, Mom, everything is okay. She said, but I just still gotta go through this stuff, all this testing and all this stuff like that. And she said, I'm just waiting for the test results to come back. She said, oh, okay. But I was concerned about you, and the whole family was concerned about you and what you said. She said, yeah, but I'm just going by what the doctor said. And he said, ooh, my pants unzipped. I didn't even know it. And then Mia said, that was a good segue. Next thing you know, the doorbell rang, and it was Karen and Ray. They came to visit them, but right before that, Mia was talking about how she moved in a big old house, and she finally moved to Potomac. The house was nice and pretty, what they showed from inside. Then the shady pedestrian gonna stay at the bottom. Karen's rental house. And so she said she rented the house, talking about she spent $65,000. I was like, $65,000, maybe you spent $65,000 on furniture and fixing it up. I said, but that house didn't work. And then she talking about she paying $10,000 a month for rent. $10,000 a month for rent. I said, ooh, I've been complaining about what I'm paying. But anyway, they got to talking, and then she said, Mia, you okay? You need anything? Everything? I said, yeah, I'm all right, Karen. I need everything. And then Karen said, ooh, Mia, you didn't tell me your family was this cute and good looking. And I said, ooh, Mia showed you got a nice looking family. And then so after that, Karen, that she said, what is one thing y'all know that y'all like about Mia and her quirkiness? Mia's sister said, Mia used to like, when she was little, she used to like to climb the monkey bars and stuff, and she made some kind of sound, and they said, what? And then Mia made that monkey sound, some kind of hee, and then Karen was shocked and looked, and she said, ooh, I got to get way away from here for this. She said, it's just so funny. Everybody bust out laughing and stuff, and then they went in the room. And then after that, it switched to I need some more water. Okay, I'm back. It switched to the next scene. And the next scene was where Wendy met up with Peter at the Boy One restaurant. I know they say he got one in somewhere near Potomac around in Washington D.C. But anyway, they sat down to talk, and she told Peter that she wants she wants to do a Nigerian restaurant. And he told her, yeah, Nigerian restaurant cafe, that'd be good. And then she gonna tell him that she wanna have from 2 to 4 education about kids and all that stuff. And then from 5 to 10 at night, it could be a club. And then she said, yeah. And then Peter said, well, I'll invest in it 100%, and I'll give you 20%. She said, 20%, and you get 100%. He said, yeah. And so she said, well, how much I would have to put up? He said, you would have to put up $300,000. She said, ooh, that's a lot of money, $300,000. She said, when I'm gonna see a profit? He said, you know, you might not see a profit. You might not see a profit into 2 years, and then whatever profit you get, you know, after you pay your expenses or whatever, that's gonna be your money. That's gonna be your 20. That's gonna be your 20%. And then she said, well, she said, well, I'm gonna have to talk it over with I'm gonna have to talk it over with my husband. And he said, yeah, talk it over with your husband. And he said, well, it don't work like that, Wendy. You can't have a cafe and a bar and have kids in there. He said, it don't work like that. Either you gonna have the bar, you gonna have to do something else. She said, well, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go on time. He said, well, you gotta. She said, well, he really don't want me to do no restaurant that I be in business doing all this business. And then Peter said, well, you gotta really go put it on him so he can put the money down. And that was a little funny part. But a lot of people are giving Wendy a side eye, and they were saying she better try to go and get her lawyer because she's a lawyer. She better go and get her lawyer and get her husband, and he's a doctor. They need to go over the paperwork before they sign anything with Peter. But Peter did have a couple of failed businesses on Atlanta, but like they say, he doing good now. That's why he was able to make that Boy One in Washington D.C. because they say the one in Miami really popular. Now I don't live in Miami, but that's what other YouTubers that I've heard say. But anyway, then it switched to the next scene where Ashely went to see her mama and her Uncle Lump, and they were sitting down having lunch. And her Uncle Lump was asking her how she's doing since the divorce. They was kind of surprised that her and Michael got a divorce. And so she told him that you know, that affected her in a way too, but she's trying to move on and she's doing it. And she was saying Michael found a house for them. He said, found a house for them. He said, yeah, I was looking for a house for me and the boys. And Michael said he found a house in some, I forgot what area she said, and it's real good for me and the boys. And so it's gonna be, he said it's gonna be on an LLC, He said, Ashely, you getting a divorce? What's going on? He said, you gotta make sure that you have money and stuff for yourself and the kids. And then in a confessional, the producer asked her, how much money do you need for Michael to take care of you and the kids? She said, well, I'm not gonna tell everybody what Michael make, and stuff like that, but I do need enough there for us. And so what happened? He said, well, you need to talk to a lawyer. Do you have a lawyer? No, I don't have a lawyer. He said, well, you better go and talk to a lawyer and stuff like that. And it seems like he was really concerned about her and her welfare and her and her kids and stuff like that. And they said, well, I will talk to a lawyer. And then switch to the next scene. And the next scene where everybody was getting ready to go to the party. And everybody was coming to the party, and Gizelle had asked her daughters before the party what to wear, and her daughters finally told her she needed to wear that pink and flowery jumpsuit, and her daughters told her they thought she had got her style up together when she didn't, and then she finally FaceTime, asked her, they talked about the invitations a little bit, and then it switched back to the party. And then Gizelle was the first one to show up at the party. Said, ooh, this look real nice and springy. Like, I didn't know what to wear for spring. That's why I FaceTime with Robin at first. She told me I was supposed to wear some spring colors. She said, what about this? You like this, Karen? Karen said, ooh, that look good. That's some spring colors. Next thing you know, after that, all the other people started showing up. All the other people started showing up. And then Karen said that she knew Mia's friend Jacqueline from Mia, and then after that, Candace and Chris showed up, and then Wendy and her husband showed up, and Karen greeted everybody and said hi. And so Wendy was over there talking and said, "Ooh, let me go over here and talk to Gizelle." So she went over there and she said, "How you doing, Gizelle?" Gizelle said, "Don't come next to me. Don't touch me. Don't come close to me." And when they said, "Oh, I was just trying to be nice. I was trying to be," Gizelle was rude and all outdoors. All she could have had to do was say, "Well, hi, Wendy," and "Bye, Wendy." That could have been it. That could have been it. She could have been a little bit more cordial than that. But she was just rude and outdoors. And then gonna talk about the way Wendy talked about her and her family last year. No, you lying, Gizelle. You was the one started that stuff with Wendy trying to come after her husband, just like you tried to come after Chris and Candace's husband. Them men don't want your old butt and stuff like that. So you need to be quiet. And then next thing you know, Mia and G showed up, and they got to greeting. And right before that, Karen got to talk about Ashley's situation. And Ashely walked up and said, "What was going on?" Said, "We were just confused by what you said about you was getting a divorce and you wasn't getting a divorce." She said, "But like I told y'all, we separated now, and you have to be separated first before you get a divorce." And Gizelle kept reiterating, "Ashely, I don't see how you gonna get a divorce from this man trying to get and you trying to get a house with him, an LLC." And then walked up, and then Karen was greeting Mia, and then Gizelle jumped up and said, "Mia, I have some questions. I'm kind of confused about your social media and your social media post that you said that you might have a C word." And she was saying, "Well, and then you came back and said that you didn't have a C word." She said, "Well, I was just going by what the doctor said. The doctor said that because I had some lumps, I might need to go to John Hopkins." And so when he told me that, they had to do a battery of tests and stuff like that. So that's why I put it out there. And then she said, even Karen was concerned. Even Karen said, "No, I didn't have no concern like that." Karen said, if it would have been me and I was in that situation, I wouldn't have posted on social media until I got that exact diagnosis. And she was saying, "Well, I talked to my family and I talked to G, and I also talked to Jackie, and Jackie said, that I should put on social media because she said social media is a vehicle that we can use and stuff." So that's why I decided to put it on there. And then so Giselle said it still was confusing. And she said, "All the stuff that I went through, and you telling me like that, because Giselle had said this what the cancer looked like." And she said, "All the stuff I've been through, you telling me this stuff." And then Robin walked up and said, "Well, it was kind of confusing, and I agree with Giselle. And then Mia said, Mia said that bad word. She said, "Blank y'all." And then the show went out. The whole show was good. First episode. That's why I say I don't know why these people talk about the ratings and stuff. But I like the first episode. And the one thing I can say, Giselle thinks she can do Mia like she did those other newbie girls. But baby, baby, Mia is her match, and Mia go to her toe to toe. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even Tizzle like a T.I. is. I am out.